Hello and welcome to Clavy News Desk. We are reaching you live from Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. I am Imefonokun with this and more. The Duke of Sussex, Prince Harry, and his wife, Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, arrived at the Nigerian Armed Forces Defense Headquarters early this Friday in Abuja, the nation's capital, as Clavy's defense correspondent, Gloria Atta, now reports the visit is part of a lineup of activities of the royals to promote the infectious games by engaging with the nation's wounded and injured soldiers and their families.
The Duke of Sussex, Prince Harry, and his wife, Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, arrived at the Nigerian Armed Forces Defense Headquarters complex at about 12:45 p.m. this Friday afternoon in Abuja. The quarter guard mounted at the main entrance of the complex to pay compliments and herald the royals' maiden visit to Nigeria.
Your Highness! Remember the guard! Into the gospel! Dance, miss!
After inspecting the guard of honor, Prince Harry and his wife, Meghan, were ushered into the complex by the wife of the Chief of Defense Staff and other military top brass at the event. The Military High Command had on Thursday revealed that the couple's visit to Nigeria will focus on promoting the Invictus Games by engaging with the nation's wounded and injured soldiers and their families. Prince Harry's decision to visit Nigeria followed an invite by the Military High Command following the nation's debut appearance at the 2023 Invictus Games held in Dusseldorf, Germany. The Invictus Games, founded by Prince Harry in 2014, is an international multi-sport event for wounded, injured and sick military personnel that offers support, recovery pathways and rehabilitation for the personnel post-injury. The Military High Command hopes to host the Invictus Games in Nigeria and believes that Prince Harry's visit will facilitate the establishment of the proposed Invictus Games Center in Abuja and a collaborative effort with the foundation to gain knowledge of the recovery program.
It's okay.
What you just witnessed here was the visit of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, to the Chief of Defense Staff at the Defense Headquarters here in Abuja. The aim of this visit primarily is to promote the forthcoming Invictus Games. From here, the couple will be traveling to Kaduna to visit wounded military personnel before they would return back to Abuja to continue with other engagements to mark their 72-hour tour to Nigeria. From the Defense Headquarters, I am Gloria Atta reporting for Clearview News.
The Nigerian police authorities have released Daniel Ojukwu, the detained journalist with the Foundation for Investigative Journalism, Ojukwu, who went missing last Wednesday with his phone switched off and whereabouts unknown to colleagues, regained his freedom this Friday, but it was later found out that he was detained and held in a police station for allegedly violating the country's Cybercrime Act, often criticized as a tool for censorship. The arrest of Ojukwu, who was later transferred to the Nigerian capital city, Abuja, followed his report about alleged financial mismanagement over 147 million naira involving a senior government official, according to his employer. Meanwhile, some activists and civil society organizations had earlier on Thursday expressed concerns over a surge in attacks on press freedom in Nigeria. In the early hours of Thursday, a coalition of media and civil society groups totaling 24 staged a protest over the continued detention of a journalist with the Foundation for Investigative Journalism, Daniel Ojukwu. The media was agitated when the police bowed to pressure and finally released the man that unearthed financial frauds. Clavis Gloriata was live at the scene and now tells us more.
Gathered here are a coalition of media and civil society groups numbering about 24 from across the country. They have assembled in front of the Nigerian Police Force headquarters in Abuja to protest the continued detention of a journalist with the Foundation for Investigative Journalism, Daniel Ojukwu, by the Nigerian police, calling for his freedom. Ojukwu went missing on May 1 in Lagos, but it was later discovered that he was detained by the police, who are out to do the bidding of their paymaster. He was unlawfully detained for allegedly violating the country's Cybercrime Act. The arrest of Ojukwu, who was later transferred to the Nigerian capital Abuja, followed his report about an alleged financial mismanagement of over 147 million naira involving a senior government official, according to his employer. His continued detention has sparked calls for his freedom from the media, civil society groups and other concerned Nigerians. Addressing journalists at a peaceful protest in Abuja, spokesperson of the group, Vuki Shonibare, said they are concerned about the continuous surge in violence and attacks against pressmen in Nigeria and are calling for an end to the growing trend, especially by the police, who are perceived to be taking sides with the highest bidder without a recourse to justice.
The recent abduction and continued detention of Daniel Ojukwu, a journalist with the Foundation for Investigative Journalism, exemplifies this disregard for the rule of law and democratic principles. Mr. Daniel Ojukwu's fundamental human rights have been blatantly violated. Even though the Nigeria police has filed no formal charges, he remains in custody. Additionally, Daniel's unlawful arrest and detention contravenes the combined reading and cumulative effect of sections 35, 34, and 41 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999 as amended.
Once you speak out and speak truth to power, it feels like we're not safe in this country. So what we have to demand accountability, we have to hold our government to account to the monies they spend according to how they spend engage on fiscal reforms or fiscal transparency. If you look at the budget where Ojukwu has taken, Daniel has taken his information from, it's from the national budget, from procurement processes, and also the reports which is on the Open Gov Transparency website. But now he's been detained he's been detained and handled as a criminal. We say this is unacceptable, this is unwarranted, and we demand his release immediately.
A lot of people, so many people that we don't even know have been detained as we speak under the Cyber Crimes Act of 2015. And it has been amended by the Tinubu regime, and Tinubu has assented on it. But the police here is saying that they don't care about the amendment. Look at where we are now. We are discussing the release of a journalist in 2024. What the Cybercrime Act means with regards to what they have done to Ojukwu is what they call the sedition law during the pre-colonial and colonial era, where if you write anything against the white man who were the colonial masters, they will just summarily arrest and detain you indefinitely.
In his remarks, the Commissioner of Police, FCT Command, Bernard Igwe, and the Commissioner in charge of Federal Operations, Vungmo Kwaimo, pledged the Nigerian police commitment to act on the matter and ensure that justice is served.
For the fact you're a journalist and you commit an offense does not mean you will not be arrested and you will not be prosecuted.
So this one, we have looked into the matter. There's no need of this protest. The force management team has taken a lot of things into consideration to release him. We and the press are friends. We are partners in progress.
What I want to say is this, that I have heard you and I have heard all your demands. This will be communicated to the appropriate authorities, and I assure you that our Inspector General of Police will definitely take a step towards the liberation of Daniel Ojukwu. Or if it means charging him, it will be done so accordingly.
Just last week, the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, at an event to commemorate the World Press Freedom Day, said that not a single Nigerian journalist had been hounded or incarcerated under the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration for practicing responsible journalism, saying that the media is largely free in Nigeria. This group, however, is of the opinion that basic freedoms, including that of the press, are still far from the global standards in Nigeria and are desperate for a change. Gloria Atta, reporting for Clearview News.
Nigerian singer David Adeleke, popularly known as Davido, on Thursday hinted that he may not produce another album after the next one. Davido has been in the news lately for his online prowl with his colleague Ayodeji Balukun, popularly known as Wizkid. He was online again on Thursday night, the time while reacting to some recent doctored pictures of his. The unavailable crooner claimed that some persons desperately want him out of the industry. The singer had earlier on Wednesday dropped visuals for the song Kante of his timeless album featuring super gifted singer Vav and directed by Dami Twitch. The former Super Eagles midfielder Tijani Babangida and members of his family were on Thursday involved in a ghastly motor accident along the Kaduna Zaria Road, according to the Secretary General of the Professional Footballers Association of Nigeria, Ibrahim Babayaro. Ibrahim Babangida, who played for the national under-17 team Golden Eagles, died on the spot, while his brother Tijani and family were taken to a nearby hospital. The late Ibrahim Babangida was in the Golden Eagles team that won the FIFA Under-17 World Cup in Japan alongside Kanu Nwankwo, Wilson Uruma, Karbe Ujukwe, and Peter Anosike before moving to Volendam in the Dutch League. Ibrahim Babangida played for Bank of the North, Stationery Stores of Lagos, and Katsina United. May the soul of Ibrahim Babangida rest in peace. Against the backdrop of cybersecurity levy introduced by the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) on all electronic transactions, the national chairman of Action Democratic Party (ADP), Yabagi Sani, has described the administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu as a lazy government that is quick to take advantage of the citizens instead of thinking outside the box on how to generate revenue. Clearview News correspondent has the details. The Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) has directed deposit money banks and financial institutions to suspend processing fee on deposits till September 30, 2024. The fresh directive came at a time the CBN instructed deposit money banks to start charging 0.5% cybersecurity levy on transactions, a development that has sparked outrage. Reacting to the burning issue, the national chairman of Action Democratic Party (ADP), Yabagi Sani, called on Tinubu's government to think outside the box on how to generate revenue to fund its government and stop being lazy and further impoverishing Nigerians.
I see this government as a lazy government. Lazy. Lazy in the sense that they are quick to take advantage of the masses, instead of government thinking out of the box. We talked about fuel subsidy, unification of Naira, exchange rates, isn't it? So these two factors that led us to where we are today can be traced directly to what is happening in oil and gas sector. Not CBN. CBN is a banker. You can easily say CBN is just a storekeeper.
Yabagi Sani also noted that the only way the economy of any country can develop and government perform its functions is when the citizens are bold enough to hold the government accountable.
And on the other hand, if you want to play devil advocate, I think it's good. It's good for Nigerians. It's good for Nigerians to be punished. I use the word punished, in the manner we are being punished. You know why? We refuse to hold power to account. So now, if you are losing 0.5% of your money every now and then, perhaps, as a citizen, you will wake up and say, what are you doing with my money? That is why the governments in Nigeria are so corrupt, because people don't hold them to account, because people don't see the oil money as their own money. But now, with this 0.5%, with electricity tariff, with fuel subsidy removal, with this removal, this tax, Nigerians will wake up.
ADB national chairman therefore predicted that Tinubu's administration is gradually pushing Nigerians to where they will begin to ask, what are you doing with taxpayers' money? Imefon Okun, reporting for Clever News.